relaxed there. It's a good chance for Eibar.
Edu Exposito with the strike. He's got a couple of goals this season, including a really good one from that kind of range against Atletico. That was a big win for Eibar back in January, but they've suffered since then, and they're suffering here today, despite having the same number of shots in the game as Real Madrid. Not the same quality of chances, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I was Rafa Suarez or Robert, having had to play against Eden Hazard and Rodrigo, and I see Gareth Bale and Vinicius Junior warming up, I'd be worried.
May well be more goals to come in this second half if Real Madrid keep their foot on the pedal. Hazard back for Marcelo. He sends a cross to the far post. It's too deep for Benzema, and no one else was coming in at the far post as Rodrigo had drifted inside.
Yeah, but Benzema was in the box. He was in the first half, by the end of the first half, when he opened up play and ran into the box, wanting to be at the end of the cross. So, we want to see the Real Madrid number 9 in those positions.
Touched by Varane to Kroos, and now Benzema back to Sergio Ramos, scorer of the second goal tonight. Onto Modric, inside for Rodrigo. Nice build-up from Real Madrid. Mondi, first time for Modric. This is beautiful football. Hazard back for Mondi. The cross looking for Benzema, headed away from underneath his own crossbar by Correa, but very slick build-up play from Real Madrid, and not looking like a team who are coming off a 3-month break.
No, absolutely not. Beautiful one-touch football from Real Madrid, and great cross from Mendy with his right foot, I have to say. And Robert was well positioned.
There's Marcelo for Hazard. Orellana pushing Marcelo back. He finds Modric. Stabs the pass on for Kroos. Now Hazard to Marcelo. Cut back to the edge of the area. No one running in apart from Mondi, who just plays the first time pass for Rodrigo. His cross now for Ramos. Doesn't get power on it. And I think the flag is up for offside. So Eibar get a reprieve, but Zinedine Zidane has his players looking pretty sharp, pretty slick. It's been an impressive return to action, and the quickness of their passing and movement been particularly impressive at times. Andrea?
Oh, they've looked great. As you said, they look sharp, and they've started the second half as they ended up the first one. They're going for it. They're trying to get that fourth goal. Obviously, the goal difference is going to be important, I think, as well, in that battle against Barcelona. They know that, and they've got a chance today to score goals, to reduce that gap with Barca, and obviously to get that confidence, for the upcoming games.
An important second half for Eibar, even if they're not able to turn things around, which looks highly unlikely, of course, but important as well for them, for, as you say, that the upcoming games, they've got a big battle on their hands in the next 10 games to stay up. So they'll want to give a good account of themselves in this second half, to at least come away from this game with a little bit of confidence.
They need a reaction, and it's something positive to take from this game. As I said before, everyone expected Eibar to lose today, but at least to compete, because they're going to have to compete the last 10 games of the season if they want to survive and stay in La Liga.
Here is Correa. It's inside to Orellana, who's immediately mugged by Toni Kroos, and forward beautifully for Modric. Kroos continuing his run down the left. Hazard ahead of him. Benzema in the middle. He goes to Hazard, who will look to turn. Nice swivel, and the cross deflected by Paulo Oliveira into the arms of Dimitrovic, but more threatening play from Real Madrid.
And I love to see Kroos, running down the wing. He got the ball back there with Casemiro's help, and he just ran. And Modric waited, to give the pass at the perfect time. A through ball into Eden Hazard, who's trying. Obviously, he's not as fresh as the others after coming back from injury, but you're starting to see, some of the quality from the better player.
Promising indeed from Eden Hazard so far, and his return to action after a 4-month absence. You imagine he would be one of the players that Zidane will replace. Asking to complete 90 minutes would be a stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason, to risk Eden Hazard, especially with the season he's had so far. We were talking about keeping himself fit. 60 minutes would be more than enough. And very positive 60 minutes for him today.
Free kick for the foul on Mondi. Eibar with plenty of food for thought. His team have got a tough return to action. They've got some difficult opponents coming up. Athletic Club, Getafe, Valencia and Granada are their next opponents. So with the form they've been in, either side of the break, I don't want to say it's hard to see where their points are going to come from, but they desperately need to turn around their fortunes or they're going to get really dragged into trouble.
The worrying thing, Andy, is that you see Espanyol playing against Alaves yesterday, and you don't think they're going to get relegated. Same with Mallorca. I mean, yes, they lost 4-0 against Barca, but there was moments where they competed, and this is the most important thing. I'm not seeing Eibar, doing the same, and they haven't for the rest of the season. They got a couple of good results, and then some very disappointing ones. It wasn't the normal Eibar, the Eibar that we used to see and that we have seen in the last 5 or 6 seasons under Mendilibar.
Yeah, they did compete fairly well up until the second goal, I think, in this game, and really the heads seemed to drop after that. They had a few moments, but certainly now Real Madrid very comfortable as Mondi in the unfamiliar right-back position. Finds Casemiro, he's quickly challenged, and Kike is fouled by Casemiro, wants to take it quickly, gives it to Alvarez. Kroos snapping in, trying to win it back, but can't do so. Zoriana worked on by Alvarez to Correa now. Alvarez turning away from Hazard. Oriana back to Cristoforo. And now Edu Exposito turning, opening up to shoot. There's space there, and what a save from Thibaut Courtois, because Edu Exposito hit that with awesome power, and Courtois with a really strong right palm to turn it away for a corner. What a shot, and what an even better save.
Well, that's a fantastic turn from Edu Exposito. As you see, Ramos now kind of relaxed, doesn't even challenge him, and obviously this is La Liga, you've got quality players, and look at that from Thibaut Courtois, using his size and his quality to prevent Eibar from scoring. But this is better from Eibar, and they need that. They need to take qualities out of this game, and that shot from Exposito, it's something different than what we've seen so far. Sergi Enrique and Pedro León coming, or actually 3 substitutions.
Yeah, Kike and Fabian Oriana have departed. Also entering is Vigas, the central defender. Pedro Vigas, he comes on for Rafael Suarez. The corner comes in and off the bar. Sergi Enrique was just coming in, and his first touch, just seconds after strolling onto the pitch, very nearly gave Eibar a goal, but they're facing a counter-attack now. That's far too far forward from Rodrigo, and how unlucky for Sergi Enrique, very nearly getting a goal with his first touch.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were saying, well, this is better from Eibar, good effort from Edu Exposito from the corner, another great chance. And Real Madrid actually kind of relaxed now and cruising, thinking that everything is over. And as you see, Sergi Enrique in front of Varane, and that's a great header. Unlucky not to score there.
Yeah, nothing that Courtois was able to do about that one. Sergi Enrique is the regular starter up front for Eibar. Started 17 games. He's had a goal-shy season, only 1 goal so far, but his work ethic is so important to the side. And very unlucky to be denied a second goal of the season there.
Well, he's perfect for the philosophy of the club. For Eibar, he's a hard-working player, as we've been saying about Chimi Ávila at Osasuna. Those type of players that are perfect, playing for the clubs they're playing for. And obviously, 1 goal for Sergi Enrique is not good enough. Especially after last season where he was instrumental for Eibar. And in the last 10 games of the season, they need Sergi Enrique to start scoring desperately.
Cross from Cristoforo, deflected behind by Sergio Ramos. There'll be another corner. This was why there was a corner a couple of minutes ago. What a save from Courtois after a very good shot from Edu Exposito. Courtois, other than that poor kick out that gave a chance to Exposito a few minutes ago, very assured. Pedro Leon with the corner. It's cleared awkwardly by Benzema. Fight back in, deflection, and it's in. He somehow squirms his way through. Courtois was wrong-footed. He got something on it, but not enough. And a scrappy goal has given Eibar a lifeline. And just after I was praising Thibaut Courtois, he is beaten. I'm not sure there's too much he could have done about it, as the ball took a big deflection. Benzema got a half clearance, and then were there two deflections maybe even? Rodrigo trying to get an initial challenge, and then did it come off Vigas maybe?
Maybe Marcelo, I'm not sure, Andy.
No, it's Vigas.
Was he offside though?
Well, that will be being looked at, I'm sure, if there's a question of it. So Vigas scoring with his back as Ramos comes off and Eder Militao comes into the action. So too Gareth Bale entering for Hazard and Vinicius as well. So three changes for Real Madrid on the hour mark, and that looks pre-planned when you get three changes all at the same time on the hour, even after just conceding a goal.
Well, it looks like he's slightly offside, Vigas, isn't he?
Close, certainly.
Well, maybe not. Maybe Mandi plays him on. Maybe Mandi.
Mandi was leaning backwards. Yeah. Maybe his backside has kept Vigas onside there.
Well, but that's relaxation, really, Andy. As we've seen Esposito taking the shot, no one closing him down. Then Sergi Enrique, with that header hitting the post, and this is the goal. Not clearing the ball properly. Benzema in the first post, and Mendy just falls down awkwardly there, and Vigas ends up scoring.
So Eibar maybe back in it. We've been talking as though this game is done and dusted, but
but that, at least they're competing now. And Mendy Eibar, I'm sure that he is happier with this first minutes of the second half than he was with the first 45. The players are reacting, the players are trying, and this is the most important thing for Eibar now.
Now here's Vinicius, his first touch after coming on. Can't combine with Benzema. Long ball forward, which Eder Militao is able to head back to Thibaut Courtois. Just to run through those three changes again to confirm. Eder Militao on for Sergio Ramos. Vinicius onto the left wing in place of Eden Hazard, and Gareth Bale on the right-hand side in place of Rodrigo. That's four changes now following the introduction of Mundi at half-time.
And then Militao playing at right centre-back, Baran switching off to the left.
Would you put Courtois at fault at all for that goal? It was a strange one, bit of pinball, and it all came towards him.
It was a slow reaction from Thibaut Courtois. Obviously, he was quite close, but as you saw the ball going through his legs, I could see his face, his reaction. He wasn't probably happy with the way he coped with that ball. I expect Courtois to save those type of deflections, even if Vigas was very close. He probably didn't have the perfect view of the ball. But obviously, we're talking about one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Now here's Vinicius, closed down and go out for an Eibar throw. And Zidane will want to see a reaction from his team now. Lost their way in the last 5 minutes or so. And now here's a chance for Benzema to have a run. He's got support from Vinicius and Toni Kroos. Has to turn back out. Wants a bit more width on the right, provided by Mundi. And it comes back for Varane to send it over to the left for Marcelo.
Well, this is what Real Madrid needs to do, to control the tempo of the game, not letting Eibar getting back into it.
Now Mendy will look to cross on his left foot if he can. Plays the pass back. For Eder Militao. Casemiro trying to slide it through into the run of Mundi, who looked to attack the box. Eden Hazard will watch the rest of the game from the stands, as will Sergio Ramos with an ice pack on his thigh. A good return for Eden Hazard. Do you think he'll be happy with his hour?
Yeah, I think he must be happy with his hour, because we could see some really good link-up play with Benzema. He tried, to go 1v1 against his defender when he had the chance to. He was very much involved in every attack of Real Madrid. He gave the assist to Sergio Ramos. So I have to say that it was a very positive 60 minutes from the bench and start.
Now a ball through for Pedro Leon. He controls well. He'll look to take on Varane, who shepherds him back. Good defending by Varane to close out that chance. And now Kroos sends it on for Vinicius. Sends it on too far though. And across comes Oliveira to send it against Vinicius. And there is the goal again, as it was fired in by Edo Exposito. You can see that Mundi was clearly playing him on, but now here is a worry for Real Madrid. Marcelo with a pained expression. So Zinedine Zidane might be forced into using his.
Well, I think he was actually making the gesture that he was dizzy, so he just asked for a bit of sugar there. You see those gels. I don't know if there's an injury really. He's just very, very tired. Marcelo
wearing the captain's armband after Sergio Ramos was replaced a few minutes ago. Well, that is a worry. Of course, 3 months without play, but it's not especially hot. 24 degrees. We saw it's a warm evening, but I'm not sure. Is it the kind of temperature that causes a player to have difficulties?
No, not really, Andy, but obviously such a long time without playing, it's not easy. Marcelo has been making efforts, going up and down the wing.
I was going to say, he covers so much ground, doesn't he?
Exactly. So obviously 66 minutes into the game, he's not a 20-year-old anymore, Marcelo. And it's normal that he feels tired. And sometimes, the sugar levels go down. Those gels are there to help you recover from those type of situations when you start to feel.
Stofero turning into space does well. Miro was slotted in at left back for now, with Real Madrid temporarily down for 10. And that deep cross goes over Casemiro's head, and Pedro Leon can't keep it on. Marcelo back in the game. That's something they'll have to be cautious of, the medical staff. If the player's dizzy, you can't take any chances with that. Here we see, keep an eye on Marcelo. Is it just of exhaustion?
Well, it's happened to me as well, Andy. It is when you are exhausted, you're tired, you're not feeling particularly well. So the best way, if I was Zinedine Zidane, I would make a substitution. But obviously you're gonna see the players he's got available, and other than Militao that is already on, you don't have many defensive players on the bench. So it's not an easy decision to make for Zinedine Zidane, but I wouldn't take any risks when a player is not feeling well.
Now, the other reason that Zidane won't want to make the changes, it would be all of them. It would be all 5 having made the 4 already, and there'd still be half of the second half to go. One potential player who could come on is Javi Hernandez.
Javi Hernandez, yeah. I hadn't seen him there. There he is.
So that might be the option. Would probably have to be the option.
Yeah, the only option really, Andy, that Zidane's got on the bench. So we were saying that
Marcelo can play on, but for now, play does go on with the ball into the box for Sergi Henry. Marcelo goes down, play goes on. Pedro Leon shoots too close to Courtois. What an opportunity, though, for Pedro Leon to score against his former club and really turn this game back towards Eibar. And if that had gone in with still more than 20 minutes to go, the game would be in the balance. But with Was that poor finish or good save?
No, it was a good save. You know, it went for the low shot. Very difficult for a keeper to save, but you know, it was a fine save from Thibaut Courtois. And as I said, it was game over. Maybe I said it too early because you know we were asking for Eibar to react, and they have reacted in a very good way. I think it's more down to Real Madrid's relaxation, really, when they thought the game was done, the job was done. You know, they're tired. They don't want to waste any more energy. But sometimes in football, when you switch off too early, you know, Eibar's got quality players that can punish you as well.
As Alvarez picks up a good pass to Cristoforo in space, and now Pedro Leon can take on Marcelo. Sends in a good cross, and it's just beyond the dive of Sergi Enrique. Real Madrid living dangerously.
Yeah, and Marcelo doesn't look right at all. He doesn't look right. You know, he's not closing down because he can't. You know, you see he's struggling. So I don't know how long Zinedine Zidane is going to wait before he makes the substitution.
And surely Eibar should just keep sending the ball over as they are now. Just target him.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
And looking for Pedro Leon. If the opponents have got a player who can't really run, then test him, especially defender. But here's the chance. Again, we saw Marcelo bring it out, go down, trying to claim a free kick. Might have been offside against Pedro Leon. That would have been looked at certainly, but as he hits it, you see the frustration of Mendilibar, who knows that could very, very easily have been 3-2. Probably should have been 3-2.
I think Andy, the offside was given though, because I saw the linesman, you know, giving the offside to Eibar.
And even so, Real Madrid looking frail at the moment. 20 minutes to play, 3-1 lead at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano, but it's got a different complexion about it, the game, from early in the second half when the home side were just flying. I haven't seen anything of Gareth Bale on the ball yet. Over on the right-hand side. Might come his way now. Here is the Welshman. Sends it back to Varane and Toni Kroos. That's a rarely wayward pass from Toni Kroos, and signs of tiredness throughout Real Madrid at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you've got Luka Modric, who's 35 now, actually playing. He'll probably have to play 90 minutes, you know, after 3 months. It's not easy, but obviously they need Real Madrid to react and get back into the game. They don't want to give Eibar any hopes of getting something positive from the Alfredo Di Stefano today.
Varane sends it towards the halfway line, well anticipated by Robert Correa, right back, who now sends a pass a little short that Toni Kroos tries to win. Vinicius as well, but neither of them can pick up the loose ball. Out for an Eibar throw-in.
Good game by Toni Kroos, Andy. We've seen him missing that long pass, but you know, always reliable on the ball. He's been pressing. Obviously, he scored that beautiful goal after 3 minutes. So he's had a good performance, the German so far.
A spectacular start, as you say, with a brilliant goal early on, and continued to be a strong presence for Real Madrid. Sergi Enrique battles well. That's what he does. Holds it up. And there's the challenge by Casemiro, who has already been booked. And that's got to have the referee thinking about whether a second yellow card is warranted.
Well, he's got to be careful, Casemiro, there.
Oof, well, players have been booked for far less.
Exactly. He's a very lucky boy.
He seems to finish a lot of games teetering on the brink of a red card, Casemiro.
Yes, he does.
He's maybe got away with one there. But free kick will be taken by Pedro Leon. Towards the penalty spot, headed on and wide. And a half chance goes begging. But it's very much Eibar on top at the moment. And has been for a around 15 minutes, it started to build their pressure, didn't it? Just before they scored, had a couple of chances, and then the goal came, and Real Madrid haven't been able to find any rhythm since then. Modric easily dispossessed there.
There's always a detail that that changes the game, and that was when Courtois gave the ball away. They had a shot on target. Then Exposito had a great shot that Courtois had to save the corner. So you could see that Eibar was starting to believe, and Real Madrid hasn't reacted really. They still think they're comfortable 3-1 up. But what if Eibar scored the second now? There's still 15 minutes to go, and Real Madrid can allow themselves to be in that position. As you see, Benzema, he hasn't had a touch of the ball. He doesn't like that, so he's dropping deeper to get involved in the game. Gareth Bale, we haven't seen him on the ball. We haven't seen Vinicius since they come on.
Vigas sending in the cross that is only half cleared. Alvarez now to Correa, who can step away from Vinicius to send in the cross. Marcelo does well to get his head on it and send it out. I just wonder whether Mendilibar will think about throwing more men forward. He's got attacking substitutes available. Charles, the veteran Brazilian, and Quique Gonzalez as well, two strikers on the bench. It's a difficult balance for him because you don't want to leave yourself wide open to counter-attacks against Real Madrid with Vinicius and Gareth Bale on the pitch. But if you sniff half a chance to get back in the game, really get back in the game, then surely you've got to go for it, haven't you?
Yeah, of course. 50 minutes to go. You have nothing to lose really, because you normally lost this game. They've got Inui as well, who I think is going to come on.
Yeah, he's trotting along the touchline
if
now.
I'm not wrong. Yeah,
so he's got a creator.
He's a creator, and then, as you said, you got Charles, who's a goal scorer. So obviously he's got tools, on the bench to use. We will see where Inui is going to play, who is he going to replace, and probably, as we said before, they're going to try and target Marcelo, who's very tired. You can see, by his body language, that he's not enjoying these last minutes of the game.
Vinicius is able to win a free kick there to hold away some of the pressure, and at the half-hour mark of the second half, I think that's going to take us into the cooling break, the chance for the players to take on some water, and it's a break that Real Madrid need at the moment, because the last 15 minutes they have looked extremely disjointed, and it just shows how quickly things can change in football. Early in the second half we were commenting how well they were playing. They were playing some lovely flowing football, looking slick, and they've just lost it completely since then, and Eibar really in the ascendancy.
Yeah, but you know who Real Madrid needs now? Federico Valverde. They need that energy, they need that dynamism, to actually lift the spirits of the team, to win those second balls we're not winning now, to get a tackle in, to get a run, and to actually wake, his teammates up. Obviously, if Marcelo is able to finish the game, I would use Valverde.
And the leadership of Ramos they've been missing as well during this period.
That was
been on top.
I'm sure that Ramos had a problem. Otherwise, you wouldn't, substitute your captain and your one of your best defenders, especially when Eibar has scored. To bring on Militao in such a difficult situation, the ideal scenario. Yes, Ramos, they're missing Ramos, but they're missing legs in midfield now. It looks quite easy for Eibar to play through them.
There is Valverde. Yeah, I'm sure that thought is going through Zinedine Zidane's mind, and we saw the medical staff and Zinedine Zidane both talking to Marcelo and obviously asking him, "Are you okay? Are you going to be okay to continue?" Yeah. We see Takashi Inui becomes the fourth substitute for Eibar, and it is an attacking one because he's on for Pablo de Blasis, who is a far more defensive-minded winger. He's not really a winger as such even. De Blasis often plays as a fullback. So Inui on, he is a creative.
He's a creative player. He's someone who has upset big teams like Barcelona. I remember him scoring twice at the Camp Nou a few seasons ago, and obviously, up against Mendy playing on the right, where he is not really comfortable, that might be dangerous for Real Madrid.
Ball from Marcelo is slightly overhit. Vinicius unable to keep it in. So 12 minutes plus stoppage time to play at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano, and we've got unexpectedly a game on. Still a lot for Eibar to do, of course, but I think fair to say, Andrea, after 5 minutes of the second half, if we'd said 10-12 minutes to go, we'd still not be entirely sure that Real Madrid would have it won, we wouldn't have made that conclusion, would we?
No, absolutely not. And my bad that I said the game was over too early. But honestly, it's down to Real Madrid getting a little bit relaxed, getting a little bit complacent, thinking that the job was done. And as you see now, they don't want to take any risks. Thibaut Courtois is going to go for a long ball, and that's a sign of, just a message to his team. Let's get to the opposite half of the pitch and just try to actually get some pressure on Eibar.
Keep the ball away from their own goal, because Eibar are very good pressing. They've got some fresh legs in the attacking ranks as well. All the three players furthest forward for the visiting team, Pedro Leon, Sergi Enrique and Takashi Inui, are all second half substitutes, so they're fresh, they're able to close down Real Madrid if they try to play out from the back.
And you've got Marcelo, who's not fit. You've got Militao, who's come on from Sergio Ramos. Mandy playing at right back, being left-footed, so maybe it's not a good idea to try and play from the back.
Some alert play from Gareth Bale, almost winning the ball back for his team, but he couldn't feed it through to Benzema. And that looks like a foul, by Edu Exposito, leaning into Casemiro. And there's going to be a yellow card on the touchline. I'm imagining that Mendilibar may be complaining, not just about that, but perhaps the man that was fouled, Casemiro, is still there after the challenge he made a couple of minutes ago on a yellow card. Probably in his mind as well, that as he made the complaint, Mendilibar.
Well, I'm sure Mendilibar is someone who likes shouting and commentating the game, and now the referee, is able to hear him better. So.
Yes, doesn't work in his favour. Here's Varane sending it back to Courtois. Just finding it impossible to sustain possession at the moment. Real Madrid, we see it break down easily there. Courtois didn't want to play out from the back. They kick forward, easily dealt with by Eibar defensively. Now can Benzema apply some control? He does. Floats a lovely pass out to Mundi, who has the pace to take on Bigas and beats him and cuts it back for Bale. But a couple of deflections allow Eibar to clear their lines.
Well, what a pace. He showed the pace and ability, really, and composure, because he was going to give the ball back to Modric. He saw the Eibar player, reading that pass. He waited and gave it to Gareth Bale. So great play from the Frenchman. But I can see Real Madrid players wanting to be, under hot water. They just want to have a good shower. They're just looking forward to the end of the game and start thinking about, the next challenge against Valencia in 3 days' time.
And we see Fede Valverde is ready to come on, number 15 on the sidelines. He will be the fifth and final change for Zinedine Zidane. So they're obviously come to the conclusion that Marcelo is going to be okay to finish. Imagine it will be Modric who comes off.
Yeah, I think Modric, we haven't seen him really in the second half. He had a really good first half. He's 35-year-old. And to play more than 80 minutes in these conditions is not easy. And as I said, I think that Valverde is much needed now for Real Madrid in that midfield. They need his legs, they need his freshness, and it's a wise decision from Zinedine Zidane to use the Uruguayan.
It's going to be a defender who comes on for Eibar, interestingly. Esteban Burgos will be the last man to appear. Here's Inui, sends over the cross that Courtois is able to gather. That's a quick glimpse of the creative talents of Inui, getting to the byline and cutting back the low cross. What do you think the thinking is with the Eibar change, unless Burgos is going to be a makeshift centre forward?
Well, yeah, unless they use him as, when Gerard Piqué, the last minutes of the game, tries to be the centre forward for Barca.
Sergio Ramos
for Real Madrid. Unless they use it in that way, maybe one of the defenders is not feeling well or has a problem. And this is why, he's coming on. But
maybe a change of shape if he's putting on an extra defender to go to 3 at the back and a 3-4-3, something of that sort. Maybe we'll see soon.
I wouldn't see why really you need to put an extra defender unless he wants to have an extra midfielder. That's why he puts 3 at the back and 4 in the middle. I don't know. We'll find out. shortly.
We will, but not what you would expect from a team chasing the game to bring on a central defender. As expected, it is Luka Modric who makes way, and Fede Valverde will come on. And maybe the balance has shifted between those two over the course of this season. Valverde probably first choice in the big games now, ahead of Modric.
I think that Valverde has escalated to be probably the first choice after Casemiro in that Real Madrid's midfield due to his performances. And if we look at the stats, they tell you how important he is, because when he is on the pitch, Real Madrid wins more games, Real Madrid attacks better, Real Madrid defends better as well. So
he didn't start in any of Real Madrid's losses this season. That's the common thread.
Exactly.
And he will try to help see home this victory. Eibar incidentally bringing on one central defender for another, so maybe Zabia, who's come off, was struggling a little. Burgos on as Pedro Leon's cross is charged down by Vinicius. So they're doing enough at the moment. They're not particularly doing it convincingly, Real Madrid, but they have at least not conceded any chances in the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, they kind of sorted it out, when Eibar was feeling comfortable, getting to the final third quite easily. It's not happening at the moment. Let's see Vinicius now.
Vinicius is on the charge after a great pass from Benzema. Vinicius looking to get into the area, but there is Burgos.
Good defending.
The first thing he's done since coming on, and he did it very well, to read the run of Vinicius and take the ball away from him. And that's the one question mark that always comes up against Vinicius, his end product. He gets into so many good positions, but was unable to get the shot away or a killer pass there.
Well, normally he does better than what he's done right now against Burgos, and after that is when when it becomes difficult for him. It looks like if the goal looks more for Vinicius, he needs to improve that if he wants to be the top player we all think he can be. Being a winger for Real Madrid or an attacking player, they will demand you goals, they will demand you assists, and I think Vinicius has it in his locker. So I'm expecting him to improve his numbers in the upcoming seasons, because he's such a hot prospect and a fantastic player.
There's another foul by Casemiro, which he vociferously complained about to the referee. Long ball forward for Sergi Enrique to chase. Eder Militao has got the pace to deal with that, and Courtois, taking no chances, sends the long kick away. Header won by Alvarez, and now here is, I think, a first touch, as far as I recall, for Fede Valverde.
Yes, it was his first touch. That's why he didn't want to play that long ball into Gareth Bale, who would have run.
But now he does play the ball through, trying to get to Benzema. It comes back to him, and he finds Bale on the right. The first time, really, Bale's had the ball at his feet in the attacking third. And he sends in a deep cross that is asked too much of Vinicius, and out for the throw-in. So a little concerning, really, for Zinedine Zidane. Do you think how his team have lost their way in the second half? How concerned will he be with the way they've played in the last half hour?
Well, not really, Andy. It's the first game back after 3 months. They've done their homeworks in the first half. They played some really good football, created chances. Hazard, he's had good 60 minutes. That link-up play with Benzema was positive. Yes, of course, he'll probably warn his players and say, hey, this is top-level football, and you can't really relax like they've done in the second half. But it's a one-off. I think that it's actually normal after such a long time to have those dips of form into a 90-minute period. But obviously, you expect Real Madrid to be always on top, especially against a team that is struggling in La Liga like Eibar.
That's the thing, isn't it? We have so high expectations from both Barcelona and Real Madrid that they've set the bar so high over the last few years.
They have, yes.
They've been the best two teams in the world. I think not much doubt about that. Consistently over the last decade, the top two teams in football have been Barca and Real Madrid. So when they don't play particularly well for half an hour, we could maybe overanalyze it, jump to too many conclusions.
Yeah, but sometimes we forget that the other teams play as well, and obviously Eibar have quality in their squad to create problems to Real Madrid. And after 3 months, I think it is actually normal to see that kind of relaxations. It shouldn't happen, and they need to sort it out. But I wouldn't be too worried if I was Zidane.
Now here's Inui trying to give Zidane cause to be worried for the last couple of minutes of this game. Alvarez, plenty of Eibar players forward. Can they get a meaningful ball into the box? Correa finds Pedro Leon, who somehow escaped with the ball at his feet and flicks a clever pass into the stride of Cristoforo, who can't take it cleanly. There's handball appeals from a couple of Eibar players, but the referee is unmoved. Let's see, as the ball came in, it was now off the midriff of Varane, and no question that it should have been a penalty. Good spot from the referee to not be interested in that appeal. We move into the last minute of normal time. Real Madrid still with the 3-1 advantage over an Eibar team who have been much improved in the last half hour. We often talk about, there's a cliche that we talk about a game of 2 halves, but if anything, this has been a game of 3/3, with Real Madrid taking the first 2 and Eibar in charge for the last half hour.
Yes, and I'm sure that mainly Eibar will look at the last third of that game and take the positives out. Something that we were talking about during the game. That Eibar at least should try and get something out of or at defeat against Real Madrid, and this is what they're doing. And I'm sure that yes, of course, they won't be happy with the performance they had in the first half and with the defeat really, but at least they've created problems to Real Madrid, and they'll go to the next game thinking, well, we're not that bad, come on, we can do better than what we've been doing so far.
Inui with the cross that Varane does well to repel. 4 minutes of added time will be played, and Kroos picks up a loose ball and tries to feed Vinicius, and he is going to get there ahead of Paulo Oliveira, but the Portuguese defender sticks to his task really well, and he's had a decent game for Eibar at the back.
Yeah, there was an occasions where I thought he was a bit weak, a bit soft in one of Real Madrid's goals, but other than that, he's had a decent performance, and you saw there how much Toni Kroos trusts Vinicius' pace because he gave him that long ball, and he knew that Vinicius was going to get at the end of it. Fantastic pace from the Brazilian.
Not many are going to win a foot race with him, that's for sure.
No.
Here he is challenged by Cristoforo, out for a throw-in. Real Madrid back in action on Thursday night with a home game against Valencia. That will be eagerly anticipated. Eibar a day earlier, they have a Basque derby against Athletic Club, 7:30 on Wednesday evening. Football every day in La Liga Santander for the next month roughly. It's going to be a fun month, Andrea.
Yeah, fantastic. We're all desperate to see La Liga back, and it's going to be great to have so many games in such a short period of time.
We've got it back in flurry, that's for sure. Marcelo does well here. Benzema helps it on to Kroos. Free kick could be awarded there. The referee sensibly waiting to see if there would be any advantage for Real Madrid. There wasn't, so he then blew the whistle and shows the yellow card as well to Paulo Oliveira. Oh, was it Cristoforo, in fact, who made the foul? Yes, it was Sebastian Cristoforo. One more game tonight, kicking off in just over half an hour. Real Sociedad against Osasuna, the young stars of Real Sociedad looking to maintain their Champions League challenge. As Varane steps in well. And then we start all over again. Match day 29 will get underway tomorrow with a pair of games. Levante against Sevilla. Both picked up good results in this round of fixtures, and Real Betis against Granada, a Betis team who's still on the fringes of the relegation battle there. 7 points, 8 points above the drop zone, but not entirely safe yet as Pedro Leon races into the box when Courtois comes out.
Surely underachievers Real Betis of the season, Andy.
Definitely, yeah.
With the quality they've got, with Rubi, such an exciting manager. It was, their performance against Sevilla. Yes, of course, Sevilla were great. I thought that they had a fantastic game, but it was disappointing. I was talking about competing; they didn't compete, and in a derby, that's not acceptable. And especially with the quality they've got, because it's Fekir, Joaquin, Diego Lainez, Canales, Guardado. There's plenty there to be in a better position.
And here's Gareth Bale trying to run onto a head down by Valverde. Can't get there. Final few ticks of the clock at the first ever La Liga game at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano. All out for the Eibar throw. Eibar will stay 2 points clear of the relegation zone, and Real Madrid will move back to within 2 points of league leading Barcelona. The top two off to a good start upon the return to action. Referee allowing a few more moments to pass as Cristoforo turns back to Paulo Oliveira. Good positioning by Varane, allowing it to run through. So they steadied themselves in the last 10 minutes or so, Real Madrid. It's not been particularly fluent from them, but they have got the job done, and they've started this return to the Liga season with a victory. And Zinedine Zidane, I suppose it's ideal for Andrea that he'll be happy with the points, happy with the first hour, but there's still points for him to improve on, and still points that he can make to his players.
Well, he can use that to actually tell their players to don't relax. You can't do that in La Liga in the 10 games left if you want to challenge Barcelona for the title. But still plenty of positives, the comeback from Eden Hazard, Sergio Ramos scoring another goal, Benzema in the first half, that link-up play with the Belgium was great. 3 points, 3 very important points for Real Madrid. And Eibar, very disappointing during 3/3 of the game. They had a reaction, and I'm sure the Mendilibar will take that positive out of the game today at the Alfredo Di Stefano. Toni Kroos, man of the match. I'm not surprised. Great goal, great play from the German. And in 3 days' time, we've got a very important game for Real Madrid. And I'm sure that Zinedine Zidane is going to be able to rotate his squad with the quality he has.
So it wasn't convincing at the
Sí,
start,
uno de
but
ellos,
Real
con el
Madrid
capitán
got
del
the
Real
job done
Madrid,
in the
Sergio
end. They
Ramos,
take
además
it
el hombre
3
que marcó el
goals to
primer gol
1.
en este estadio cuando se inauguró, que ha marcado hoy también. ¿Qué tal, Sergio? Muy buenas.
Buenas noches.
Enhorabuena por la victoria. Lo primero que te quiero preguntar es ¿cómo estás físicamente? Te hemos visto con hielo, te has retirado, que no es
How
habitual
are
en ti,
you
pero ¿cómo
physically? We
estás?
see you with an
Muy
ice
bien,
pack.
muchas gracias. La verdad que teníamos ganas de volver a veros a todos y
We
bueno,
wanted to
una simple
come back.
molestia, pero sobrecarga
And
y un
it's just
poquito de
a-
prevención, ¿no? Nada más. Así
It's
que
just a little
contento
knock.
por
It's
los 3
just
puntos,
precaution that I
por
came off,
volver,
no
porque se
problem.
reanude
Happy
ya
with
un
the